What's up, YouTube? My name is Nate, and welcome back to the Finally Vinyls channel, where today we finally have some new vinyls. Now, I apologize in advance for how late this video is. In the past few months, of course, there has been school, and there's been the holidays, and all that stuff. And also, in the last video, I only had 2 records to show. So for this update, I wanted to let this video fester a little bit. Give me a chance to really accumulate a good number of records and hopefully give you guys more of a variety in the selection that I've chosen. So today, we finally, after a long hiatus, after a long time, able to come through with a new video. I have 5 records to show you guys today, which hopefully is better for your enjoyment. Also, in advance, I want to thank everybody who's checked out my videos. I know it hasn't been a lot, but to those who have, thank you. And of course, this collection is growing at a good rate, and I'm hoping to get shelves and shelves of vinyls and records that I love, and maybe even records that I don't love, but just love the packaging. I love the artwork and the vinyls themselves. And so the first record we have is by a band called Boston Manor. You guys are an alternative rock group from the UK. This is their second full-length album. And I found this record and I found this band. This is actually a very good record for a sophomore album. Definitely get a good, like, mid-2000 alternative feel to it. Of course, the hooks are very catchy. The guitar work is very raw and very heavy. So you have the front, the back. Just a single-sleeved record. You get a liner sheet with the lyrics and some pictures. The white sleeve, but the record itself has that half red and half black color, and it's just amazing. When you spin this thing on a record player, it just looks amazing because of the split color. So cool. I love it. This was a record store day exclusive that I got at a record store that I was very fortunate to find. And of course, I listened to the album before I bought the record, so having this on vinyl, very cool to me. Next album we have is by the band Brand New with their album Science Fiction that came out last year. This is a curious case because this is a band that I don't necessarily like all that much. I think that the stuff in their older discography, I think it's a little too raw for me. They're an emo band, so that type of sound is not necessarily up my alley. But I loved this record. When I first heard it, I went back, listened to their old stuff after listening to this album, and realized that this could be the only album that I like from them. Because this album is so good. Because it's alternative, it's indie, it's emo, it's raw, it almost has a grunge feel to it as well in some songs. And I just love the production too, and the theme of it, of course, the lyrics and some of the skits they have on this record. Definitely a good listen, in my opinion. Even though, again, if you go back and listen to other stuff you may not like, but if you have one album to hang on to, this is the one. We got the front, we got the back. Got a nice gatefold here with the Science Fiction inside. And inside you first get a nice poster of the band. That's pretty cool. Then you get these cool sleeves with artwork on the sleeves. There. Then you have this one and that. Then of course, your boy has to always find a way to get a clear vinyl disc. I love the clear disc. I love the fact that they make it that way when you put a record player and it spins around. You can see through the record player. I think it's super cool. Next album we have is by a group that I have just fallen in love with ever since they first came out last year. And I'm also pretty sad that this is the only thing I have of there that's physical. But it is Brockhampton with their album Iridescent. I fell in love with this group when I heard their Saturation trilogy last year, where they released 3 full-length albums within the course of 1 year, which is just absolutely insane. Every single one had hits on it. Every single one had great songs, great verses from the groups. Dom and Kevin Abstract and Bareface and all those guys. There's like 12 or 13 guys in the group. And Joba. They all really pull their weight with this group, and the fact that they're called the best boy band in the world, I totally agree with. This album came out, and before this album came out, there was a little bit of controversy with them. One of their bandmates, Amir Van, got into some pretty heavy stuff and was kicked out of the group for reasons I'm not going to say on camera because maybe you already heard about it or you can read about it online. And there were a lot of questions about what they were going to do after he left, because he was a favorite of the group. He was the most raw, he was the most street, he had maybe the best lyrics. I think with this album, they came back and proved to everybody that they can do it without him, because there's still great songs on here, catchy songs. The production is better because they signed with RCA this year, so the bass is a little bit thicker. The production is a little bit more clear. Overall, it's just I love every song off this album. Like, I had to buy this thing the day they announced it came out, and I'm super glad I did. So here's the front, here's the back with the track listing. Pretty cool gatefold there, you know. Also love the thermal vision theme of the record cover and the album cover and stuff. So inside, first thing you get is this little liner sheet with the lyrics. Nice picture of the guys in all their thermal glory. Then again, white sleeves, and then again, this clear disc, man. A lot of these bands and groups are making clear discs. I already have maybe 4 or 5 of them because of the Kendrick Lamar one, then the brand new. Now we have this one, and of course I love it. Had to get it no matter what disc it was, but pretty cool that it's all coming in clear disc now. Maybe that's the way of the future for discs. You never know, because I'm finding them all over the place with these things. Next album we have is by a band who I absolutely love as well, and this is probably my favorite metal record of the 21st century. We have Deftones with White Pony. This is a record that I have loved ever since I first heard it when I was in high school. Really a lot of teenage angst in this album. A lot of songs that I would put on whenever I was feeling upset or depressed or mad at anything. I would throw this album on and just get lost in it and get mad with it. And I still love it to this day. A lot of great songs on this album, like Digital Bath and Teenager and Passenger and Change and the House of Flies. To me, this is what new metal is supposed to be. A lot of shitty bands have come out of the new metal genre, like Limp Bizkit and Korn and all those bands. And the reason why they're so shitty is because they're so pretentious. They try and be angsty, they try and be, against the system, they try and be edgy, but they just come off feeling pretentious and stupid. But Deftones is a band who is very unique, and you can tell how genuine they are with their songwriting and their lyrics and their playing and the atmosphere they create with their sound. And with Deftones, you're listening to Deftones when you hear it because they're so unique. And Chino Moreno is one of my favorite frontmen of all time because he has a great voice when it comes to either singing, speaking word, whispering, screaming, yelling. He just has this facet to his voice. He has such a dynamic feel to his voice that can go to any song they ever write, really. Great gatefold here with some lyrics and some thank you notes, and I like the silver text too when it comes to this. It's really cool. Now for this record, no clear disc this time. Just a regular black disc in a white sleeve. Nothing too fancy, but you know what? Sometimes when it comes to the old school, you gotta stick with the old school records, So again, give this album a try because you will not be disappointed, especially when it comes to how unique this album is. And if you don't listen to anything off this album, listen to the song Digital Bath. That is my favorite Deftones songs of all time. It was a big hit when it first came out, and that song will give you a nice sense of what this band's all about. It's not their most heavy, or the most hard-hitting, their most aggressive, but the feel this album gives you is fantastic, and the song, and everything this band does. I love their entire discography, and just listen to it. Just listen to it. That's all I gotta say. the last album we have is one that's not by a band. It's not by an artist, but it is one that when I saw, I just had to get because it comes because you just have to. The Rick and Morty soundtrack on vinyl. Yes, thank you. I know it is Rick and Morty, but I mean, come on. Who doesn't like Rick and Morty? Especially when it comes out with a soundtrack on vinyl. You just gotta get it. And what's cool about this packaging is that the sleeves come out with this little pouch that is part of the album cover, which I think is super cool. You have these sleeves with these really weird but cool artworks on them. I love how weird the show is, and of course, I'm not gonna talk about how great Rick and Morty is because you should already know by now. And of course, more crazy artwork on the sleeves themselves. It's like green and black pictures, really cool. And then you get this really cool, like bluish greenish color on the disc. You can't quite see it here, but there's actually a hint of the blue inside the green, and I love it. It looks so cool. Looks so cool. There were different versions of the disc that were out. There was some orange ones. There was, I think, a pink one, but I got this one in a store. And of course, this was the only version they had. So again, thank you very much for watching these videos, and I hope that this fulfilled the long hiatus that I was on with a good number of records. I'm going to be expanding my collection. And hopefully you guys can stick around for the ride. I'm very happy with how big my collection has grown since I first started. Thank you all for the views I've gotten on the last videos, and expect more in the future.